Yes.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Backseat Driver. My name is Alicia and today I have with me JayJay and Desmond who will be answering my questions surrounding today's topic. Now with that said, we'll be discussing wedding car rentals, so we'll be talking about our top picks as well as key things to note and look out for, and hopefully answer some questions some of you newlywed couples out there might have.
Yes.
So to start off our list of questions, what would be the dream car of your choice to drive away in on your wedding day?
GTR 32. That is legendary. It's kind of the car that started like my interest in cars. But even if you can find a GTR 32 in Singapore, you probably can't find one to rent. If not, then if in today's setting,
buy, just buy.
Oh yeah,
just buy only.
Later I can put a down payment. Just throw my whole house as the down payment.
I think not enough.
Yeah.
Emotional damn. For me, in a perfect world, it wouldn't be a wedding car, it'd be a wedding bike. But that's just because I'm a bike person. But if I had to pick a car, it would just, I guess, be a luxury sedan. So I'm not particular about brand like LS, ES, 5 Series, 7 Series, S-Class. You know, one of those sort of big, comfortable luxury sedans. I think that's all you need in a wedding car.
You know how you put like the cans at the back of the car, then when you drive away.
No, I think what many sort of bike couples will do is they probably do a bike with a sidecar. So I think that's a
Thank you. But cannot drive on highway, right?
option.
Can.
Oh, can.
Can. I think ultimately with a wedding car, it's really a question of whether it's going to be in a photo or not, whether it's a photo opportunity or not, right? Because if it's a photo opportunity, then obviously it has to look a certain way. You want it to visually represent something. But if it's not, then it's just more of transport. I think that really changes the calculations on what you want out of a wedding car.
That's true.
I got married last year, and I drove my own car. Yeah, so I think for me, I like to drive my own car.
I did not get married last year, so perhaps speaking from a slightly naive perspective, but I think the wedding day is long enough, tiring enough. Don't need to add the driving bit into it. So I'd much rather be driven. You know, getting point to point, you just want to rest. You don't want to sort of have that additional effort and work of driving.
Wait,
so I'd much rather be driven.
Mostly like get driven?
From my experience, I think more often than not people get driven because driving is just more work. It's more things to do, right? And I think there's enough to do on a wedding day.
What's the third question? Oh, okay. Luxury cars I think would be the most popular choice because it would be nice to, sit in like a supercar or luxury car just to be driven around. So, but in terms of practicality and cost-wise, what would you kind of advise the people out there who are hoping to maybe aim for that caliber?
Well, honestly, to me, if your car is not part of your photo shoot, to me, sort of the most obvious best wedding car is actually an Alphard because it's very comfortable, it's very spacious. More importantly, the doors slide open. So getting in and out is very convenient, especially for the bride, right? And it's a house on wheels, so you can just like chuck all your wedding stuff into the car. So, and they're not that hard to get. I think there's plenty of rental options around, and I don't think it's super expensive. So to me, from a very, very just practical, logical point of view, that's the perfect wedding car because it will do everything you need it to do.
Car rental, one day is like what, $200, but the moment it's a wedding car rental, the prices are gonna skyrocket. Even if you just want something nice, it's gonna be a lot more expensive. For me also, like if I was considering a wedding car rental, right, probably not just something luxurious, but also maybe like something sporty that you never ever get to drive, like S2000 or a Z4, something like that. I think adds a lot of flair. Like, yeah, it's one thing to have a nice, luxurious barge in wedding photos, but also a really cool car.
What are some things that you can advise like P-plate drivers when it comes to like wedding car rentals especially?
Get your license early. Because once you have your P-plate, right, you're kind of stuck to it. So a lot of places, especially if they rent to P-plate, they're usually renting out the lower kind of tier of cars that they're okay with it getting scratched up. So immediately your choices are a lot smaller. The prices are going to go up as well. The insurance access is more. So if you're a P-plate driver, you're not confident, it's going to be more expensive. If you crash it, it's going to be way more expensive. So while you're young, any chance you get, you should get your license ASAP.
Or just get a friend to be a driver who is not
Yeah,
a
that's
P-plate
true.
driver. Problem solved.
How long do people usually rent out their wedding cars for? It depends also, right? Like whether or not their honeymoon is in Singapore also, right?
So I would say usually 1 to 2 days. They want to at least cover the wedding day itself. They might take it for like another day or two before for their pre-wedding photo shoot. And depending on whether or not they are having like their honeymoon, they might rent it for a few more days so they can honeymoon around Singapore with a car of their
Who's
own.
honeymooning around Singapore, man? Realistically, you're probably looking at least 2 days lah, because you're probably looking at the day before because you want to do all your setup, you need to wake up early to gate crash, that kind of thing, and you're not going to pick up the car at 8 in the morning on the wedding day, right? So it's at least 2 days, but typically I would imagine it's probably day before, day off, day after.
Would there be any sort of advice that you have for drivers of any experience in general when it comes to wanting to rent like wedding cars, especially like more supercars or luxury cars?
My advice, don't do it. All your other considerations become secondary, because if you want a McLaren and it's going to cost you $3,000 to rent it, can you say no? You want a McLaren, right? You go and dig out the money. Is it practical? Of course not. How? Deal with it because you want a McLaren, right? So these are the choices that ultimately become secondary depending on what you want in the photo, because you think the car is very important.
Maybe some people want to vroom vroom on the streets, you know?
I just feel that you could do that any other day.
Like practicality wise.
Not even just practicality wise, right? Like you said, if you want to rent a sort of fancy car for a wedding, it's going to be more expensive. The experience of driving on your wedding day and driving on any other day, to me, is exactly the same, because the same car, the same roads, right? Maybe some people are sentimental about wedding, but
That's right.
nah, man.
Nah, yeah, I have to disagree, because like that's the whole point of the wedding, is like festivity and celebration. I mean, in a practical point of view, yeah, we can have like a ROM and then like all your friends are next time I treat you your chicken rice, and that like is
I would do that.
Yeah, it's very practical. Supercars, another thing, like those cars, right? They're usually not the most comfortable. They're very low, they're hard to get in, they're hard to see out of.
They're terrible weddings.
Yeah, so, and at your wedding, you're probably gonna wear a fitted suit to look good in the photos, and your partner is also gonna wear like a fitted suit or a dress. So, getting in and out of something low and fast is usually not a good idea. And then the visibility and maneuverability when you're wearing all that inside a low car, that you're renting it for an expensive price. And if you curb the wheels on something like that, or if you knock into someone while you're merging without looking, that's gonna cost a lot more as well. So that's supercars, performance cars, they're not very comfortable. But if you're gonna rent a luxury car, like an S-Class, that is gonna be very big, then that might be added stress on your wedding day, which is not something that you would want.
Therefore, solution is always outsource. Make someone else do the work for you.
That's true.
Let's say you have a wedding end of 2023. You go for your friend's wedding in June. Wow, he got nice. Just take I will say that because I know people who do that, or I actually know people who, after they use all their stuff, right? Hey, who has a wedding coming up next? Just take and reuse, because ultimately the things are already paid for, right? Especially
the flowers die already, right?
Child. Anyways.
Most of the time, not real flowers. Real flowers are damn expensive. But I mean, if you can reuse from someone else, you should lah, because that's cost.
It will just save you a lot
savings,
of money lah.
That shit is really expensive.
You sound like you're in a lot of pain just recalling that.
If you go through, every single damn thing is it's like a little bomb of money, and they know it, and like it's your special day, so you don't want to compromise on anything.
It has become therapy.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like therapy at this point.
So if you are also complaining about your wedding day, come down to our office, we can have a chat.
And with that, we've come to the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to let us know your experiences or any other advice you have in the comments below.
In case we sound like wet blankets, we're just trying to keep a very realistic view of how this whole thing works, because I've been through it. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to us. Hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any of our future uploads on YouTube.
And check us out on TikTok. We are at Sgcarmart, so you can see plenty of fun and interesting content there.
See you in the next video. Bye! So with that, we come to the end of the episode. episode. Don't forget to... Sorry.
No, never.